So for ST1, we're going to be having a brand new policy tree. So in this video, I want to break down the new policy trees, share some stuff that you might not know about them, and just give you a general idea of what you can expect for the upcoming season. So stick around as we're going to be breaking down every single policy in that tree and giving my thoughts on what's good, what's bad, and what's ugly. What is up, guys? MEOWER here, back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So, there's been a lot of buzz going on around about the new talent, the new policy tree that has showed up for ST1. So, in this video, we're definitely going to be breaking it down, and I want to share my opinions on what I think will be good and what I think will not be as worth it or will be a bait. So, do pay attention, especially on the last talent, Cursed Swords, because we're going to be breaking down how it works and so on and so forth. So, of course, before we get started, be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the Discord. The link is in the description. Also, I do want to wish Ray Cloud a happy birthday. So, be sure to wish him happy birthdays in the comments down below. And let's get this video started. So right off the bat, we can see that there's a lot of ordering that has changed for the brand new policy tree. So let's just dive in and see what all the changes are. And I think this policy tree is definitely a step in the right direction with how impacting policies can be and how good they can benefit you in the long run during your seasons in Call of Dragons. So starting off, range tactics got a little rework. It got changed and it goes all the way up to 30%, which is pretty good, all things considered. So definitely worth picking up, especially early on in the season when your troop capacity is not as big, can help you farm darklings and farm your forts and farm your war pits. War studies also got a buff where it gives all the way up to 20% hero XP bonus for only 10 levels. So they combined War Studies 1 and War Studies 2 and gave it a little buff as well. So that's something I really like as well. Spread the word is new. You get prestige gained. So couple that with the new seasonal talents as well. You're looking at a 30% prestige gain buff across the board through peacekeeping and destroying forts. So it's a very welcome change, and I really do like it. And of course, you're getting the brand new mechanic, Wellspring of Vigor, increases the maximum stamina of your heroes and war pits. Couple that with the stamina regeneration from the seasonal talents as well, and we're looking at a huge buff for fighting in general in Call of Dragons. But of course, the real winners of this buff are, of course, the much bigger players that are usually limited by their stamina, not their troop capacity. So expect fights to go on much longer and expect to see bigger players out in the field so much more than you usually see them for when those two policy and talent combined. Next up, you see we got the regular Legion capacity through military expansion, and we do have another military expansion tree or policy down the line, but do note the season for ST1, your Legion capacity is still the same. It's still 320,000. Nothing's changed in that regard. Next up, we got medical supplies, our everyone's favorite elixir daily production buff, and we got medical improvement, everyone's not favorite resource healing buff, but I digress. I still can't get behind resource healing personally, but I'm starting to see some players starting to utilize it with all the buffs that has been happening to it. So it will definitely be worth checking out this season and see how it fares, especially because my season is going to be an absolute bloodbath. So definitely worth checking out. We got this as well, which is brand new. Just a flat resource healing reduction cost by a flat 10% for all four resources. So that's always nice. And then we got gem prospecting here. It's no longer blocking any prerequisites. So if you want to pick it up, feel free to do so. And if you don't, then that's completely fine as well. And then we got the choice for which turret you should go for. Personally, I think I would go for the ice turret. I've been seeing it more be way more effective than the poison turret from during my last season, but that's just my opinion. Of course, you're more than welcome to tell me your opinion in the comments down below, and let's have a discussion on which turret is the best. And then we got the apothecary upgrade and the healthcare reforms. Of course, you get to choose between them. you can have all the way up to a 400% elixir capacity limit or elixir production speed, which one benefits how much you can heal over the 6 hours, and the other benefits how much you can heal per day. So definitely worth checking out. I still haven't finished the math on it, so I don't really know which one's the best. So I'll definitely keep an eye out because I'll definitely do be sharing that at least in my Discord. I don't know if I'll make a video just specific for it, but if you can do the math, then you're more than welcome to. Here, I think the stockpile days is definitely worthwhile. It increases the stockpile days of your shaman hut, allowing you to store resource healing from previous days, meaning you can resource heal through 3 days worth of resource healing at one go instead of having to wait day by day. It's pretty OP, I would say. I wish Elixir Healing had something similar to this. Next up, we got the maximum turret level. It seems like turret levels have been nerfed to level 5, and in order to get level 6, you need to get it through the seasonal talent. So that's a pretty interesting change. So it seems like turns have been gotten pretty nerfed overall, I would say. Then you have the choice between turned attack or damage taken from turrets, and then you have the resources gained for destroying turrets or increased merits gained for destroying turrets. Personally, I would go for turret merit gain through turret destruction and reducing the damage taken from turrets. Then we have another buff for resource healing. So you're looking at a 25% cost reduction so far for resource healing. And then you can pick a specific resource and knock it all the way down by another 15%, totaling in around 40%. So 15 and 15, that's 30, and then extra 10, that's a whopping 40%. That actually does kind of make resource healing kind of enticing. But personally, I would definitely pick up the mana because the mana is always the issue when it comes to resource healing. And then we can see the return of cavalry drills, infantry drills, marksman drills, and magic drills. As we can see, it increases the damage dealt by the unit by 10% total, so that's always nice. Of course, cavalry, I don't think are going to be that viable this season, so definitely recommend getting this one last. Just get it enough to get the prerequisites to unlock the next part. You can see here there is military expansion 2, goes all the way up to 20% here, and 5% from military expansion 1, making it so you get the full 320k March capacity much later in the season than you usually do. Then we got the warrant capacity as usual for a total of 5 warrants, 6 if you count the seasonal policy tree, seasonal talent tree, and then we got medical supplies 2 or medical recruitment 2, depending on which one you're going for. Personally, I of course will go for the elixir production. And then we got another apothecary, apothecary 2 that goes all the way to 800%, or the elixir production speed by 5.5%. And of course, down here, you get to choose if you get stockpile days. 4 stock. Wait, what? 4 stockpile days? So you can realistically save up a week's worth of resource healing at one go? Damn, it's pretty OP. Of course, daily resource healing is pretty trash. So let's talk about this. What is this? This is pretty OP actually, especially for players that have unlimited resources. Hmm, people were kind of right. Pay to win, or rather, big players did get spent. Did get a major buff. Hmm. And then brings us to the final policy industry. This policy is a bait. Don't pick it up. The translation is incorrect, and this has been confirmed from CS and from Chinese players that your Legion does deal 5% more damage, but every single time you have set wounds, 2% of those die. This is not a chance. This is a guarantee of dying immediately. So do keep that in mind. Don't take this. This is a bait, and you're just having troops die for free, whether if you're doing behemoths or if you're doing darklings or doing anything, you're gonna have 2% of your set wounds die constantly. 2% might not be a lot, but over a season, for example, one of my friends healed 36 million and 2% of that would mean they have lost 720k troops, which in turn will affect your hospital capacity and it will affect your effective power on the field. So please don't research this policy. It's not worth it. And sorry for the sound of the rain. We kind of have a storm going on right now. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything when it comes to the policy tree. Personally, I'll always go for elixir healing till like there is just a clear indication that resource healing is better. As for healthcare reforms or apocryphy is better, I'll have this discussion in my Discord, so be sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description. I honestly don't know right now. I don't have the full math mapped out, so I don't want to give bad advice in that regard. But again, I just have some bigger favoritism for elixir healing, so I'll always go for elixir healing over time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about the new policy tree. Personally, I think it's more immersive and more impacting, and it's actually worthwhile going through it and making the right choices because they can be pretty impactful for the duration of the season. But of course, if you make the wrong choice, you can always just hit the reset button here and re engage everything. But again, wait, what? Your legion capacity will be reduced by 3.5%. Why? Oh, I thought it was a permanent buff. You're. Oh. All right, so you can always free reset it every 30 days. So if you don't like your choices, you can always reset them, and the same goes for the seasonal talents. You can reset them once every 40 days. So realistically, you can reset the seasonal talents once per season, pretty much, because the season doesn't last more than 75 days. As for the policies, you can realistically reset them twice per season, I would say. But yeah, so, what do you guys think about the new policies? Personally, I'm very excited to see what the direction of the game is going. We're seeing a lot of new mechanics coming out to the game and a lot of new changes. So, personally, I am very excited to try them out, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are. So, be sure to drop a like. And be sure to subscribe because I will be releasing the guide soon for both the brand new commanders, Tohar and Betrand, and I've seen some of my friends try them out for the past day. Let me just say they are quite the interesting duo, and they have some quite interesting mechanics for sure. So you definitely don't want to miss out. And of course, join the Discord. I love it. I do love interacting with you guys there. It's always fun. But on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope Ray Cloud has an amazing birthday. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.